set my world on fire. You're my heart's desire.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. This is the third time that we've introed this video because the first time, what did we do the first time?
That's my fault. I yawned like 3 times.
Oh yeah, Ben kept yawning. Don't do it because we just said the word yawn. And then the second time we started it and we told our whole entire first date and it was 12 minutes long.
No, we didn't even finish it. We were like,
oh yeah, we were like halfway
done.
through it and it was 12 freaking minutes long. So we were like, maybe we should just do a whole entire story time on our first date. So
comment down below if you guys want to see our first date.
Or want to know the story time of our first date.
I'm just want to let you know it was a bomb first date. It was like a 9-hour date.
It was a good first date, so let us know if you want the story time of our first date. But this story time is going to be our juicy relationship story, which is going to kind of go over our whole entire relationship and what happened and how we got pregnant and all that stuff. So that being said, if you haven't seen our how we met video, we're going to leave off from there. And if you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch it before you watch this video. I will leave a link right up here, so go ahead and click that. Go watch that video before you watch this one, and we are going to pick off from there. So after we met, we basically just talked and hung out for a week, and then we ended up going on our first date about a week after we met, or 2 weeks after we met, and that's where we started getting really into it, and it was really long. So we're just gonna skip over and just say that we went on our first date. It was a really good first date. It ended really awkwardly though. You didn't even get out of your car to say bye to me. We just we didn't even hug or kiss goodbye. We just I just got out of your car. And
especially the things that happened on the first date. It's weird that we didn't do it.
I know. Anyway, so after our first date, we were hanging out every single day. And when I mean every single day, we hung out every single day for that entire summer. And if we weren't hanging out, we were either texting each other or FaceTiming each other. We would FaceTime each other every single morning, wouldn't we? Because I would nanny every single morning.
Yep.
He would FaceTime me.
We had a really long streak.
A Snapchat streak, on every platform. We were talking on Snapchat, we were texting, we were FaceTiming, everything. Throughout the entire summer, we would go cliff jumping.
Yeah, it was just
kind of a carefree summer. We would work together, then we'd go cliff jumping. Yeah.
We went like she said, we would go cliff jumping. We would just drive places. We go eat. We just go hang out. We go hike. We do just everything. The amount of things we did that summer. Yeah. That was a really good summer.
I forgot. We did the incline together one morning.
I made her get up at 6 a.m. doing the incline. Actually, which is hilarious because in my memories I have a Snapchat story.
It's so funny.
It's hilarious.
So we did lots of fun things that young couples newly dating would do. I guess our first major relationship milestone, I don't even think we officially said that we were dating until we were dating for 4 months.
Yeah. It was kind of
no, because we got pregnant at 2 months. I don't even know if we'd officially said, oh, we're dating before we announced that we were pregnant.
It was kind of one of those things where it was I think we made the decision to ourselves. We told each other that we were dating, but we didn't want to tell anybody else because we both just got our relationships.
Yeah, so we were secretly dating.
So we were secretly dating, but the thing is, everybody knew we were dating.
Yeah.
Because KD was the one that didn't want to tell anybody here.
But you told everybody.
I wanted to tell everybody, and I did.
So yeah, and at this time.
Okay, but how could you not? Why would I want to keep her low key? Look at her.
Stop. I wanted to keep it low key because I didn't want anybody to think that I was just didn't care about my previous relationship or you know.
Don't.
I don't, but I did. I cared about what people thought about me.
Oh. Okay.
Breaking up with somebody and getting back into a relationship.
But you didn't break up.
Okay, getting broken up with after a year and then going back into a relationship 3 weeks later. That's not good.
Yeah.
At this point, me and my parents literally did not have a good relationship. Well, it was semi-okay. My dad and I didn't have a good relationship, and my mom and I did have a good relationship. My house situation, I didn't always want to be there, so that was another reason why we would hang out all the time, is because I didn't really want to be home. And since I did get out of that relationship, I decided that I was going to go to college in the fall. So this is around May or June, and I decided that in August I was going to be leaving for college. So at the end of June, I went on a trip and I toured 3 schools in Louisiana and Alabama, and I took like a week trip.
Yeah.
And I toured schools with my mom, and it was a lot of fun. And I picked a school, which was University of South Alabama, and I was so freaking excited. Like, how excited was I?
You were very excited.
I was so excited.
Which
to
was
go.
literally the hardest thing for me, because I like, obviously I was happy for her that she like picked a college and like was super excited for it, and I was like being excited for her, but like deep down underneath I was like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, Ben was pretty depressed while I was gone,
depressed.
as I've heard. So I was really excited. Ben was depressed, and we'd only been together for like 2 months or less at this point. I pick a school. I like announce that I'm going to this school, and we get home, and I would say like about a week later, after I announced it on social media and everything, there was a lot of difficulties with the payment of the school. My parents had a little college fund for me. Since I'm out of state from Alabama, it was going to be like out of state tuition instead of in-state tuition, which is a huge difference. And my dad was a legacy from the school, and so that didn't really work out the way that we thought it was, if I was going to get like some kind of student discount because of that, and that didn't work out. And then I also did not work hard on my ACT and SAT scores because I didn't think that I was going to go to college. That didn't help me at all either. I didn't get any scholarships with that. So my parents kind of pulled the plug on school and was like, if you go, we're not giving you your college fund, because I guess they just didn't want me to come out of school with a lot of debt, and I really didn't care. I just wanted to leave Colorado. Like, I didn't want to be here anymore, because I just felt like since I got out of that relationship, and I didn't even know where we were going, like I didn't know if it was a summer fling, I didn't know if it would last, you know. Did you think the same thing?
Yeah.
Like, I just didn't know who I was, and I really wanted to leave to
Well,
go
me
school.
personally, I knew that I wasn't leaving, because when I graduated, I took college classes and I went to PPCC, which is like the community college locally, and I graduated my senior year with like 26 credits towards my associates. So I knew
You knew what you were doing.
I knew what I was doing.
I didn't. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know where life was taking me, and I just wanted to leave to figure myself out, basically, without anybody here. I just wanted to start over fresh with new people, new school, new state. And so when my parents told me that, there was a huge argument that happened. Like, I blew up because I was like, why would you tell me this and then change your mind? And so since I was with Ben at the time, secretly, my parents didn't even know, I actually packed up my things and I made a few bad decisions, but I basically said, like, I'm leaving. So around the same time, I like went and got drunk at a party. And that's a really long story, but Ben came and picked me up, and I ended up staying the night with him. And then after that, I just kind of stayed the night again. And then he was like, I can't really have you in my house. Like, his parents were gone at the time. He's like, my parents are coming back, so I can't really have you stay the night, so you're gonna have to figure it out. So I was actually texting with one of my ex-boyfriends at the time, not like in a relationship way, but just because, like, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why, because I didn't like him.
She has a thing about texting exes.
No, I don't.
Yeah, not anymore.
Okay,
you did.
Sometimes I feel bad, but anyways, and I was texting with my ex before
Your most recent one.
like 2 exes ago, basically.
We don't say their names.
No, I'm not gonna say their names. And he offered me to stay in his apartment because he had an extra room, and I was like, sure. So I went and I stayed in there. I'm not gonna get too much into the story because I just don't want, if they're watching or if anybody that he knows is watching, like, I just don't want them to, like, know all about it. But basically, I left after one night, and
it was just like one of those things where I was so uncomfortable with it. I was like,
yeah.
no. I was like, literally, like, I would much rather sneak you in and out of a prison every night than have you do that. So that's how we made it work. Literally, I don't know how, but so my dad was very, very lenient with me throughout high school. All he cared about was as long as I had good grades. He didn't care what I did, really, and I had really good grades, so.
How Ben's house is there's 3 levels. Literally, there was only 3 people living in the house.
And we have like 5 bedrooms.
And so his dad and his stepmom were upstairs, and then there was the main level, and then he was down in the basement.
Yeah.
So he would sneak me in and out of his, like, window well.
So there was like 2 different strategies we had. One of the strategies was we would always close together. And my dad always knew that we would like hang out, like I would hang out with friends, blah blah blah. And my dad didn't even know that we were in a relationship. Actually, no, this was definitely a point where we were open about our relationship.
Yeah, I think
this
so,
was
yeah.
definitely a point.
This is like
This is
beginning of July, like
Yeah.
a week after, like
Yep.
second week of July or so.
Yeah, and so I would literally, what we would do is, since the house was like bigger, I would literally just like, I would walk in the front door, she'd be right behind me, she'd walk in right after me.
Because they were already
and
in
like,
bed.
It like, you guys have seen my dad's house, there's like, the front door's right here, and then there's like a pathway right here that's kind of through the dining room, and there's a way around. Katie would sneak through the dining room area because it was carpeted, so you couldn't hear her footsteps, and then I would go around like, hey dad, I'm home, blah blah blah. And then me and her I would loop around, and then we'd meet at the staircase, and we'd both go downstairs to the basement at the same time, so it sounded like there was only one footsteps. We were really smart about it.
Yeah, and there was only a few times that I had to like hide under his bed, and like I
In the
had
closet?
like one little basket of clothes that I would hide behind his clothes, and I had all of my things that I would like put in drawers and stuff like that, so if his parents came down, like they wouldn't see anything. And I did my laundry at his house because there was an extra washer and dryer down by your room, so
Yeah.
it just worked out really well.
Yeah, because there's a washer and dryer in the basement and the washer and dryer in the top, so they don't use my washer and I don't use their washer.
Yeah. And so if you guys saw, I forget when we answered this, but we like answered like when we like slept together for the first time, and that was like 2 weeks after, or when we met, 2 weeks after we met. So we
I don't know, it was definitely sooner than that.
I don't know. But we had been together, if you know what I mean. We had been together, if you know what I mean, for
Oh wow.
like 2 or 3 months. No, like 2 months at this point.
Yeah,
It was
almost
like
2 months,
in
because you
May,
conceived.
June, July.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we had been like sleeping together for like 2 months at this point, and while I was staying at Ben's house, we actually conceived a baby. So
There's just lots of
yeah,
windows for opportunity.
when you're living together and you're not on birth control. So
Yeah. Me and Katie were really into like thrill-seeking things. Like we were very like adrenaline junkies. Both of us were. This is before, baby.
I'm not anymore.
No, she's definitely not.
I will not
She's-
jump off a cliff anymore.
No.
I didn't even really like track my ovulation because
Your period is so irregular.
yeah, my period was very irregular, and I don't know why I got a notification, because my period, sometimes I'd have 2 periods a month, sometimes I would have 1, sometimes it came here, sometimes it came there, and it just like randomly popped up on my phone like, you're ovulating, and I was like, okay, and so I was like, maybe I shouldn't say anything because I don't want to worry him, but I ended up telling him because I couldn't keep it from him. And he was like, okay, well, like, we're fine, like, it's fine. And so I was like, okay.
Then we fast forward.
Like a week later, Ben actually like noticed, he was like, your
Your
boobs are very veiny. And I was like, oh, that's really good, because I haven't been looking up signs of pregnancy for the past week, and that isn't like one of the top
And
ones.
this is like one of the things where I was like, I didn't know that she was doing it, and I just like noticed it. And like I said in the we have a video of like how we found out we were pregnant, how I reacted. I made a video by myself, but I was just like completely oblivious. Like I didn't want to accept the fact that you might have been pregnant.
Yeah, so I bought a ton of pregnancy tests online. This whole story, we're just gonna kind of skip through it. I bought a pregnancy test online, took a test. They ended up being positive. If you want to see both of our reactions, we have those videos too. I'll just link everything regarding our pregnancy down below when it comes to how we met and how.
What's the ice maker's name? Somebody named it. I
Derek.
forgot. Derek.
That's what I named it. His name is Derek. But I'm gonna link our how we met, and then both of our reactions and our parents' reactions down below if you guys want to see all of that. All of that, fast forward.
We actually had plans to move into my grandpa's house. Actually, we were planning on moving in, me, her, and Sadie.
Which you guys have seen. She was my maid of honor.
Yeah. But her end ended up falling through, and it ended up just being me and Katie.
And at this point, we hadn't told his mom yet. We just moved in because we were like, we don't want her to think that. Well, we didn't want to say like, oh, we're pregnant and we're still moving in. Like, we just wanted. I don't know. I guess that's still bad to like not tell her to move in.
I mean, it was like one of those things where it was like it was our last resort. I mean, okay, I'll take that back. It was not our last resort. As we say in like how our parents reacted was, I thought my father was gonna like literally murder me. The reason we wanted to move out was because obviously he didn't know you were sneaking in, and we didn't know if he would let you live with us. And then we thought that my mom was gonna have the best reaction, like.
So we were like, we'll just move in. We'll just tell them all later.
Yeah.
And so we moved in.
Cause like at this point it was like definitely the hardest. It wasn't the hardest part, but it was like, this is like when we start climbing towards like, oh my god. When I think of it, I just think of like, how the hell are we still together?
Yeah.
It's just like, this is like the start of it. Like moving out, like moving into my grandpa's house was like amazing. That whole part, like the first like what, week? Not even.
Yeah, and I'm probably like 5 weeks at this point.
Yeah.
So we're still like coping with it. We're still trying to figure out how we're gonna tell our parents. We just moved into this new house, and I don't know, whenever I think of that house, I just get sick to my stomach because it was just such a terrible experience for both of us in our relationship and like everything that I just like, I can't even like go near the house without even just like going to a really dark place. But it was good for a couple of days, and then I started to get really sick because I was pregnant, and I just remember just like laying on the bathroom floor in there just feeling so incredibly terrible and sick. And then we told his mom, and if you guys know the reaction, that just made us even more sick. We started to like really
drift apart,
separate each other. Like we were obviously sleeping in the same room like when we were in there, and we started sleeping separately.
It was different. It was just like, I don't know, it's like one of those things where it was like, we have very, very different pasts. She grew up very religious, I grew up very not religious, so we obviously had different like beliefs. And my mom was very on like the abortion side and pushing the abortion, and like no way, like I'm not going to support you at all. There's so many other emotions that like override it. Like whenever I think of that, I just think of how my mom reacted.
Yeah.
And I wasn't thinking about like me personally.
We weren't thinking of
like,
each other. Like we were in such a dark place.
For me, it was just like so emotionally like, what the freak just happened? I was like, my mom literally just disowned me. She's kicking me out. She's saying I'm gonna be a horrible father. Like all of this. It was just like so degrading for me. Like I don't know. It's like
that we couldn't even think of each other at all.
Especially because of like the past that I've had and the childhood that I've had. My mom has always been the one that's like me and my brother would go to when we needed something because of situations that happened with my father when we were kids. My mom was always like our support method, and like we'd always go to her, and then it was like a complete flip-flop.
We were working and we were both in school. It was just not a good combination. His mom ended up kicking us. Well, she kicked me out, and you decided to leave with me.
Yeah, she pretty much said, Katie had to leave. I could stay if I wanted to, and I was like, okay.
I don't know. We just like we went from like a carefree relationship where we did anything that we wanted at any time. Like who cares? We would go out to eat. We would go do this, and we were carefree, and we would just like we're newly
super
dating.
Happy.
And to this, like we went from like here to here like so quick within a week or two.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, so Ben could have decided at this point, like, oh, Katie's been kicked out, like, I don't have to go. But he decided to, his mom went on vacation, and he decided to pack up his stuff and leave while she wasn't there so that she couldn't stop him or anything, because she was not, I honestly think that your mom went through, like, a psychotic break when all of this was going on. So I don't think that his mom would have let him leave. I think she would have like stood in the road and not let you leave.
I don't know.
So Ben left while she was gone.
Literally never been so thankful for people, like 2 humans in my life were your parents, like super understanding, like, and literally David just gave me a hug and said you can stay here anytime you want. So Natalie and David offered me to move in or go back and move in with Katie to their house. So that's how I got there.
Yeah, they offered. I didn't say anything. My parents, my dad was the one who was like, Ben needs to move in, because our relationship at this point was, I would cry to my mom. I don't even know if I told you this, but I would cry to my mom and say, like, I don't even know if I want to have this baby. Like, I don't even know if he's the one. I don't know if I want to get married to him. We'd literally been dating for almost 3 months at this point.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even know him, like, but we're having a baby, and like all this is happening, and now he's moving in, and I literally was so, in my emotion, like my hormones are going everywhere. I'm like 12 weeks pregnant. I don't even know how pregnant.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm like 8 weeks pregnant, and it's just not a good combination. So he ends up moving in. Our relationship gets better and better and better and better and better because we're together. We're still working together, and now we're still living together.
Yeah, like it was like we're working together, we're living together, we're actually like having,
going to school together too.
Yeah, we were going to school. We were like helping each other, and we were like had support, like.
Yeah, and my parents were there for us.
That was a huge thing, is because it's hard to be in a happy relationship when you have such a toxic background.
I think this is when we really started to like, we did like our 18-week pregnancy update. Don't go watch it. It's terrible.
It's horrible.
But we decided to like start doing pregnancy updates and different videos together, and our relationship just got better and better. And then we decided to get engaged, and then we had our baby, and then we got married, and then we moved out, and we've documented the entire thing since then. But that was just like the part of our story that you guys like never got to see. Like you never got to see the hard parts of our relationship. And honestly, through all of that, like I'm gonna like break out in hives, because just that whole situation, that last part of our story, literally makes me want to die. Like I never ever want to go through anything like that ever again. And I don't even know how we're still together, because we had opposite beliefs, we had opposite parents, we went through people like telling us to get married but also telling us to leave each other and get an abortion. We had literally had people coming at us at every single direction. We were newly dating, we were newly pregnant. It was just not good. We didn't even know each other. We had to get to know each other while I was pregnant, which was the hardest part, because Ben got to know me while I was so hormonal and pregnant. But that wasn't like really who I was.
Literally no relationship ever is going to be perfect, and that's why like we kind of wanted to share it with us, like with you guys.
We've never had a perfect relationship. No. We never started out with a perfect relationship. Like we started out with some of the hardest trials, barely knowing each other and going through all of that, sticking with each other, getting to know each other, loving each other through all of that.
Everybody has their hard times, and honestly, like with all that crap that we went through, it's just hard to believe something that could be worse than that. Like honestly, I don't know if this video is doing it justice, but that was literally
hell. It was hell. It was honestly hell.
And I've had some messed up. Actually, I don't know if that's the worst it's been for me, but
it's honestly probably the worst it's ever been for me.
Yeah, I don't think it has for me, but it was up there.
It was up there. It was the worst it's been for us. So anyways, that's pretty much all of our juicy details.
I'm sweating.
I know,
it's uncomfortable.
That's like all of our juicy details of our story before you guys knew us as KB and Baby, with our baby, happy, fun, all that stuff like that. This is like not that. And if any of you are going through something like this, where you and your partner or you and your baby daddy or your baby mama, I don't know, are going through something like this where you like barely know each other and you're pregnant, don't give up, because that's how we were, and look at us now. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and got to know a little bit more about us and kind of are a little bit more into our relationship, because I know a lot of people wanted to like know all the juicy details of like me living with you and like getting pregnant and stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe before you leave, and we will see you in our next video. Bye guys.
Bye.
You set my